Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and again I am playing with the new release from Dina Wakley. So I have a tag that I made, a little accordion tag that I made following one of Dina's supporter videos, and I've got a little collection of ones, and I just saw them on my wall and thought I'm going to use one of those. So to start off with, I've grabbed this and I'm going to just rub in some of these new neon colours. So the colours are in Stoked, which is the pink, Legit, which is the neon blue, and Bodacious, which is the neon purple. I just love the names, they're just so much fun. So you can see adding these paints, I'm rubbing them in with my finger and it just brightens the colours as well. So then I've got these tiny tags. I would say that the tags I am playing with, the small ones, I'm just grabbing one to measure. They are, sorry, that was my ruler, 3.5 inches long by 1 3/4 inches wide, so they're quite small, and I'm just going to create some little slits for the tags to slot into. So I've just measured the tags on the back of this concertina tag that I've made. If you're not one of Dina's supporters, I suggest you do it, because honestly the stuff on there is, on her Facebook supporters, is just fabulous, and so many little ideas and things that you can try. I've learned so much. So I'm just popping the tags into the little slots that I've made, just having to make 1 or 2 of them a little bit wider to make sure that they fit. And then I'm going to start creating my background in my page, on my page rather. So I'm starting off with magenta and just popping that on my page. And it's funny, when I looked at the new neon paints, I thought, oh, this is going to work really great with the pinks that Dina's already got in her range. But the orchid and magenta are a completely different pink to the neon. It is so funny. So the one that I'm using here is called Legit. This is one of the neon paints, and you can see it's going on quite nicely. It's mixing nicely as well with that magenta, creating a really pretty lilac colour. As you know, these craft pages quite absorbent, and it's kind of interesting to see how the colour works on the craft. It does dull it quite a little bit, but it's still very pretty. So yeah, just washing my brush off, giving it a good dry, and then I'm going in with cheddar. So just adding a little bit of that to the background. So I'm kind of echoing the colours that are on my tag that I've made, just to get started. So next, this is some collage paper from the Grids pack. I'm just going to add a few pieces of this onto my page. I'm nearly at the bottom of my matte medium. As you can see, it's nearly all been used up, so I am just kind of making sure that I've used every last scrap from that pot before I put it in the recycling, or I can't check whether it could be recycled. I'm not sure whether it can, probably not. Yeah, so I'm just adding a couple of different pieces, different styles and patterns, just to mix it up a bit and to start to break up the background. I'm just making sure it's all stuck down. So this stencil is called Coasters 1, and here I am using, I'm pretty sure that's white, and this just helps to push that background away a little bit. And then I have got a little bit of marine, and I'm just adding a couple of areas where that's just a little bit darker on my page, and you can see that I've got that on the tag as well. So I'm kind of using the tag and the colours that I've got on that as my inspiration. There was a point just a couple of minutes ago before I went in with the purple and the Coasters 2 stencil where, looking now when I've edited it, I wished I'd left the background as it was, but you know what I'm like, I just never know when to stop. So I didn't. I went in with purple and added some more stenciling. That's okay. So then I've flipped my tag over and I am just painting in the background, partly because this will be visible when it's in my book, and I didn't want it to just be plain and white. So I've gone in with this blackberry, and then this stencil, which I think is called Floor Tiles, and some heather paint. I'm just breaking that background up. So just a bit of simple stenciling on this tag on the back of it, just to make sure it's not completely boring. And then I'm going to be using some double-sided tape on that little piece that I've left white. I'm just going to stick that onto my page. Okay, so you can see how that's going to work. So then I did have to have a few tries at how to fasten it in so that it would stay shut, and at the end you'll see which one I kind of fixed on as the best way to fasten it in. And here I just was like, oh my gosh, this background is crazy. So I'm just going in with the heather that's left on my blending tool and just pushing it away a little bit. So next I'm using the round brush, and I've used some carnation. I think I also had a little bit of orchid or something on my brush, because you can see it's a little bit got like different tones in it, but I really liked that. Then I've just grabbed some of my different sets of stencils from Dina. So this is the squared set, and I think I also use another one as well from one of the other sets, and I'm just stamping parts of the face onto these little mini tags. Oh no, I only used these ones. Sorry, I'm not telling you the truth, am I? Either that or I've got a really bad memory. I think it's maybe the second. Literally only made this 2 days ago and still already can't remember what I did. So there's my 3 tags, and then I'm going to just work on adding a bit more detail onto these. I'm just going to check that they fit now that this is all in place. And what you will notice is that running through the centre of this tag, because I've got the little slots that I've cut into it, there is like a band running through the middle of the tag, and I kind of looked at it and I was like, oh, that's a perfect place to do some writing. And I also noticed that when you put the tags in, because of where I'd stamped the faces, bizarrely, happy accident, most definitely it was a happy accident, you couldn't see the eyes. So my quote ended up being about the eyes. And I'm just taking advantage of that space going across the centre of that tag, and I am writing my quote across there, checking it's going to fit, because I've already committed, so I've got to make it fit now. So I do find these really fine Posca pens, the let me just see which size it is, the PC1M, they can be really scratchy and can kind of blob quite a bit, so I have to sort of use it on the side, otherwise I end up with little splatters everywhere. So then I've decided to add some little pink blush on the cheeks on my faces, and then I'm just going in with the neon pink in Stoked with my finger and just rubbing in a little bit of that on just to brighten a couple of areas. And you can see it really does lift the colour. Okay, so next I'm just going in with some white dots just to try and bring a little bit more contrast to that background. So, you know, looking now, I just think the background was way too busy, but it doesn't matter, does it? It's all about playing and having fun, trying things out and seeing what works. And this is how we learn going forward, what we like, what we don't like, what works and what doesn't work. So yeah, so here I was like I'd faffed about with some of the sari ribbon at either side to see if I could make it fasten, and it kept popping open, and in the end I put a bit of ribbon underneath the bottom panel of the tag that I double-sided taped to the page, and then I was able to fasten it over the top so that it actually stayed shut. So I've just added a little bit of that ribbon to the top of those tags as well, just to finish those off, just a little bit. I've also added a quote from the ledger papers from Dina, as you can see, and I think I've added a stamp with some sort of a semic writing on from one of Dina's sets. I've just stamped a little bit of that on each of them too, and then that's how I did it. And then a little bow, and it's all fastened in place. And then on the right hand side of this page, I just added a little bit of journaling too. And that was pretty much it. So there's just a little mini video of this when it was finished, just so that you can see what it looks like, how it came together. You see how the pink from the the pink neon paint, sorry, I'm getting my words muddled up, really does lift and brighten those colours. I think at the minute that's definitely my favourite. So you can see those little tags slot in to the spaces in that little fold out accordion tag. It's a lovely way to create an extra sort of fold out element and make a very interactive page in your journal. I am making it look difficult popping those back in, but they did actually go in much easier than that. And of course, if you haven't got these little tags, you can always make them. You can cut them to size yourself out of cardstock. It's not a difficult thing to do. So you don't have to have them ready-made, and then just fastening that back up, and that holds it all together in place. So I hope you found some inspiration from this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.